Hello, everybody. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku was Malin Naga. So, of course, she, or making the female version of Zuko. So, the, her, in this What If, she was, the Zuko, was like born as a girl instead of a guy. So she had two mothers and one father. Sorry. So she got her powers from her both mothers and her father. And her when she was like 4 years old, she went to a quirk doctor or they took her to a quirk doctor, and he said this. Interesting. You have more quirks inside of you, Zumi. That I'll just say, because Zuko is a guy, but this is Zuko, but I'll call her Zumi. So Zumi is a female version of Deku, so don't worry. So he says, well, you have enough power to destroy all of us. Very interested. Okay? So all three of their, like, those two and Inko, red, yellow, because of her headband, and red. So everybody respects her. Respects her. You know what I mean? So she loves food. So she eats like common stuff. But one day someone that someone I know I'm adding the Orc Lord to this game, or to this, not this game, to this What If. So the Orc Lord called her Chunky, or some people say that she's reckless, like boom, punch. So when she reached 15, her powers, she's basically her powers are actually part of, you know, that conspiracy theory in My Hero Academia universe where quirks that be passed down from generation to generation makes them stronger to a point that there's no control. Well, her power is right at it, right at that. But she didn't know that her powers, she's powerful and she could control it. But her temper says otherwise. Like, so she joined the UA and she met Ochako and Toga. And so all three of them became like best friends for life. Because one, and she likes to talk to, okay? So, and so does Bakugo talks to like Zumi. Eh? So, and when she reached 18, she looked like Momo's is. So so and the only person that really finds her, the Milim, so like cute, was actually a couple people. I'm skipping the Quirk assessment testing because she transformed into her form. She flew over and destroyed every single robot that she could see. Like 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers. Heck, she beats everything. And she also had this cute, like, smile every time she does that. But every time she thinks about food, she becomes way cuter. So it was or that person that wants to date her was actually Todoroki. He stopped her and told her that, and she and him go on a date thing. Because, and Bakugo knows that Todoroki's gonna do it. They both are rivaling each other's to win her heart thing. Heck. Man. Because how adorable she is at 15, she gets more attention from. And if you figured it out, Zumi was in Class 1A because she scored the highest. She broke every record in her. Even past All Might, Endeavor, everybody's. And so she went to. I'm skipping that Quirk assessment test thing. The one that, like, throw a ball one. Because she threw it and it landed all the way around the entire galaxy. See. And Todoroki and Bakugo finds that attractive. And let me remind you, this is the character version. Okay? No, like, links to, like, porn things. Or corn. So, then, as she, like, she always, of course, Toga knows that, and actually, the other person, Maya, knows what's going on between Bakugo and Todoroki. Because they could sense that it has to do with Zumi. I was gonna keep her name of Milim Naga and add the Midoriya part to her last name. Milim Naga Midoriya. So, draw that out. So basically, her costume thing was that during the heroes versus villains. So basically, only 2 per battle. Like, 1 hero, 1 villain. So basically, in the first ring, or first field, is surprisingly, it was Todoroki against Bakugo. Yeah. No? And then the second round was Zumi against Momo. Oh? And so they're like, okay. So Bakugo's like yelling at Todoroki, and Todoroki's yelling back saying, "She's gonna be my woman" thing. They're arguing over who's gonna get who. Alright. So basically, in Ochako could now know that they are fighting against and themselves for Zumi. So basically, I'll just use this picture because I don't have an actual picture of her with brown hair one on here. So she says that, okay, they're fighting over her. As now she knows why that she he became that. So because they are fighting over her, and so Ochako she isn't like, she's also after they first met and they're getting used to each other's kind, they grew up like family. And like she treats her as her sister, basically. And so they end up or Bakugo and Todoroki end their round, but Bakugo gets so much, like, he kind of went overboard, so he almost tried to kill Todoroki off, but not I keep saying Milim Naga, but he Zumi steps in and whacks Bakugo for saving. She's basically saved Todoroki's life by punching Bakugo's his explosions out, sending him flying back like a cartoon character. As All Might and even he knew that he actually called it off before, but he had too much, or he knew that Bakugo had too much fun. So now it's a sing around between Momo and Zumi. But at this point, Momo is jealous in this timeline. She is like jealous because every boy wants to date him, or dates Zumi. This is my what if. So, if any of you have any complaints, leave them in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as like next week thing. So, let's finish this up. So during when I said the Momo was jealous, basically Momo, Jiro, Visible Girl, and Frog Girl, were all like jealous of how Zumi is. Basically, but Ochako doesn't mind that. She knows that, and she's doing it for just fun. So did Toga. And when the next day was a USJ day, they went into, during Zuku's thing, Zumi, when she walked, and visit with new people, the boys, like, like him, the one that's in the back of her, he ends up saying hi, and he had this amazing good charm thing. Like she was good luck charm. So everybody's like falling over each other's for her. All the boys. Every time they see her, they stumbled over their words. So at USJ thing, the Shiraki-san, Kirigiri showed up, but Shiraki-san saw in the crowd Zumi, and he says, and kill everybody else except for her, as he points to Zumi. Basically, No Moon tried to, because he is also new, or when he saw Zumi, he literally runs up to her and like did that to her. Don't worry. So because all the pro villains or high-end villains that were boys, they said, nah, just keep, or like, he even said attack everybody else except for her. Heck, Mr. Aizawa was like, okay, yeah. So the warp guy, of course, At this point, Momo, sorry, was getting more upset than at Zumi for getting all this attention. So basically, she never met him, or she basically never met her in like true person thing. So basically, she goes all out. So she grabs a cannon and like she knows that she's all upset. So she pulls out a cannon and shot right at her, knocking her out. Basically, she's not dead. She just got knocked out. Or she didn't lose any body parts. And so the Nomu and so the Nomu saw what she did. Basically, the Nomu went and attacked Momo. And so as she, or only person that knows that she's still alive, is Ochako and Toga. So both of them lifted her up like, as she had a big red mark on her head. As one of the villains, one of the boy villains that was underwater, that looks like a shark, saw her trying to recover, but her head's been hit hard. So there's no blood. It just, she got smacked in the head. So basically, they okay. And Almighty arrives, and basically all that stuff happens, and so they not Shiraki. I almost said Shiraki-san, but yeah. So Shiraki-san, he still is stumbling over his words for her, because when he saw what Momo did, he actually, it was like everybody fighting themselves to become her date thing. And so she gets really bad headaches for that. And so everybody's like, okay, how's Zuko doing? How's Zumi doing? Of course, class 1A and 1B worried about her, because a couple times when they met, the girls her, her, and all those girls like respect her because they know that or they are like Ochako and Toga's his. They all want to be friends with her. Like, all the boys wanted to date her so bad. Like, they're just... So... And that's only at the heroes one. So at the villains... All for One says... Oh, well... Because... Shreki-san says... It's not my fault, Master, that we lost. Or that we lost the All Might is still alive. As, yes, I know. Shiraki-san. And when he saw the camera fee, I know anime is weird. But basically, so at the Midoriya's house, both mothers were so worried and her that after they saw their son get hit, or I even stumbled over my words by making it so she gets, or they saw like a big like burn mark on her forehead, like someone just backhand her in the head. So basically Inko, or it should be, Inko was like, here, let's put some ice on it. And she puts ice on it and then healed right back up. Like, And so they know that their son, or their daughter, or I could term, their daughter is the strongest but cutest one of them all. Basically, after they done eating, then she went to bed because she has like school in the morning. So, but her and her both of them, or all three of them, were talking. Like, her father, Zumi's father, him was like, our daughter has this special power, or I know she's overpowered, but she's the cutest thing that we ever had in this family. As Inko and or both wives agreed with him. Like, yeah. And Bakugo's or so what Inko always hangs out with Bakugo's mother. So she ends up asking, how's your daughter doing? She's good. She's just being herself today. Or being herself. How about yours, son? Well, my son's doing good, actually. Surprisingly. Usually he has explosive temper. But when the girl version, or no, when Zumi came into his life, he acts totally different. Like, he did not want to explode. That's what that's what Bakugo's mother. I'm trying to remember his mother's name, but okay. So let me look up her. Don't wake or so name here. Where is it? So it was Mushkura. I forget how to pronounce her name. Huh? Or I'll just keep saying Bakugo's mother. Her. So so she's like, that's surprisingly. Is he always like gets mad at everything? Yeah, but after she came along, it totally changes him into like a more calmer, focused one. But at the UA, she was walking down, and a weird guy, I think I accidentally deleted him. It was the brain dude, the one that in canon that. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Okay, the Hinto show or Shinso. Oh, that's what his. So basically, him. So Shinso, was able to like stop her and asked her a couple questions, like, how are you always pretty that much? As she gets answered, but she knows that because one of her powers is Quirk Jammer, so she's basically asks, or she answers him, like, how am I so cute? Because I was born cute, not no other way. And so, the big three, has noticed that Zumi was near them, so they both, or all three of them, him really, really, or so he was best friends with Hado. I think I pronounced her name right. The one that of the big threes. Niger, Hender. So basically, she was and so of course Sun Eater was so scared to ask her out. Like, so she wasn't running late, she was super early. Sorry, I'm using my book in real life, so. And Mirio. Oh. I just noticed his last name. Him. Like, if you take away a T-A on his last name, like Monoma Togaten. If you take away a ton part, hold on, give me 1 minute. That's a cool Easter egg in his, like, name, actually. If you cover T-A on his name, it's actually spelled Monoma Toga. I never knew that. It's the... So, sorry. So the sports festival happens. Mm-hmm. And basically, before the Quirk Jammer, I watched this one anime called That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime. That's how I got introduced to Demon Lord Milim. And the Cryptus is from that. So, because Cryptus in that slime one had a special skill called Magic Jammer. But I'm turning it into Quirk Jammer to fit my story real better. So basically, she's really fast. So only two people that wanted to try to prove to her that, or all the boys tries to prove themselves to, like, go try to pass her in the race. Heck, when Endeavor saw her, better join my agency. And of course, All For One was watching it, and he smiles because he knows that this is a weird anime thing. All for One wants to want Zumi because of her power. And so, and Bakugo wants her, so did Todoroki. Every boy that she ever met wanted her. So basically, the cavalry battle, of course she won, of course. During the cavalry battle, the it was as Ochako was the one of the horse. Toga was on the other side. And I'm gonna definitely put Dark Shadow in the front. So basically, and to make Zumi the rider because of her flying quirk thing. So basically, so they're trying to fly up to her, and then they had like, so then, of course, other than All for One, it was Musclier. Basically, Musclier was watching it. And so did Dobby and so they were like, okay. So they were like, okay. And during the fight one, the saw him earlier. Where? Oh, him against Zumi in the first round. So he was trying to. He knows that, or during the getting ready part, he literally asked her, or he told her that if I throw any insults at you, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just my quirk allows me to be. It's called brainwash. So you can be. If you answer, you get brainwashed. So that's why. So no hard feelings, okay? As she says, okay. As she knows that it's her quirk jammer. Quirks actually jams all other quirks in her presence. So basically, as so they one insult, like she actually threw a really bad temper because Guess who it was? He was the brain dude. The him through one insult that like made her feel super bad. So no one loves you. As she gets mad and punches him into like all the way to the other side of a world. Like boom. Punch right through the entire like Coliseum. Um um like so she says sorry, but and then as she or they're like no need as they all know that Zumi he was pretty powerful. So and so the doctor where is he? Sorry. The doctor tells him or tells All for One that they they have a special nomu that will allow you to. It's like a son of yours. I give you Zuku Midoriya or Zuku or evil Zuku. And when you like try to beat me down in the comments below, this is the alternate version, not the same one that Zumi, or actually it's called Zuku. This is the evil version, like the alternate Nomu version. Like one day they took when he took her DNA sample thing to see what quirk she has. He also fused it with a like boy DNA thing, like to create Zuku, evil Zuku. He is basically a high tier one. So at the sports festival, Todoroki knew that he's gonna face against the uh, her, and so they were like, "Yep," and plus Momo really wants to make Zumi embarrassed because she's stealing all the light from her spotlights. So I mean, so Momo was like, huh, maybe. Of course, Momo against Dark Shadow, because Dark Shadow notices that she really wants to kill the Zumi he off to have a spotlight. So Dark Shadow just whipped it out, whoosh, like knocked her out, like basically a cannon. And don't worry about Ochako, by the way. Bakugo, like, healing. I can't wait. So, basically, they were like, okay. So, and real smooth, hot shot. Okay? Sorry. That was someone's motorcycle driving past. So then Momo punched the wall, and some voice out of nowhere says, "What's wrong, sweetie?" Or actually, what's wrong? Can't believe that she turns around and sees Zuko, and she says, "Huh." Or actually, before a sports festival, someone, or like, there was some strange text message on Nezu's phone that it said someone created a clone, a replica of someone, as so it was one of the pro heroes. So they like figured out who it was, or they tried to. So the pro hero was actually Sir Night Eyes, because Sir Night Eyes had that thing, he figured it out, and so they created the boy version of Zumi. So basically, he was already completed, but he didn't have that program thing in him yet. So, or the control chip. So basically, before, the doctor did that away from, and so all for one, or no, the Sir Night Eyes went and captured Zuko and became a transfer student, transferred to UA. So the only two people that really knew that Momo was gonna kill Zumi was Dark Shadow and Bakugo, because Dark Shadow told Bakugo that don't let and our precious Zumi die. Okay? As he says, sure. Because Momo was already upset. Because it was just her that she's like a volcano. So, basically, skipping sport or like internships because we don't know where Zumi goes. But before they even picked their so it was Zuko, or actually, Racerhead says, "This is our new student. He's a transfer student. He is called Zuko." Oh. As Momo saw him, and she immediately cooled down. She even turned into, or she actually wanted to date him so bad. And because how they both are, they're both like yin and yang. So, but uh, so, Todoroki notices something that's inside Zuko. Because Zuko has the same powers as Zumi. And, or, when they, instead of calling him evil Zuko, it was good Zuko. So, then his costume was that. A little bit more relaxed. So, basically, he won. So, they both. So, now Racerhead, they all settled down. They all, like, hanged out in the common. Or actually, after internship thing, going right to the camp arc. So, during the camp arc, the villain showed up as Musclear was going to kill Koda, but the Zumi showed up. And when he saw her, he gave her a hug. Because they knew that, or all the villains that are boys, they just want her to be in bed with them. Kind. I am Waffle. So, then all of them are like, okay. So then the Dobby, sorry, was even after saw her, so Zumi. Of course, Zuko was like punch, punch, pow, pow, boom, boom kind. Plus, Dark Shadow in his berserk form didn't even want to like try to kill her. So the only two or only one person got kidnapped was actually Zumi. Because Zumi was the powerfulest one. So they don't like then it was all for one against All Might, and All Might lost, and you don't want to know what happened next before or All for One or before All Might broke in. Shiraki-sen, and they did such thing. They basically had a kid. Of course, all or not all of them, all the League of Villains had a kid with Zumi. So they then all were one in All Might height. And so the All for One knows that because he also wants Zumi, but she did or he doesn't want to kill Zumi. So he basically tried to like kill All Might, but ends up getting like stopped by Zumi his hand. And the only two people that betray they all for one knows that no matter what the cost, they always protect their own. So basically, Musclier and Dobby, they both like punched all for one, like setting him on fire, and because they said that the don't pick on our woman right there, as they on because everybody, including like Bakugo and Dark Shadow and League of Villains, all of them, like basically class 1A and 1B's boys, or some of them really want, including like Musclier, Dobby, and Twice, and Mustard. So basically, All Might knows that he's kind of like too old for her. So basically, way before, he actually gave his quirk, the one for all, to Zumi. And Zumi's powers went over overpowered and ends up becoming, of course, and so Shiraki-sen was also interested, but he had someone else in mind that he's too embarrassed to think of. He's wants to date her. So this is not, and let me, before I go any further, this is not the, like, brutal, like, thing. So, Hero Killer Stain heard about Zumi and how she's not a fake hero, she's a true hero, kind. And he stumbles over his own words. And so, like, every villain, and plus, that's why not every villain, some villains, like, mostly all the boys want to ever in bed thing. So, one of them had a fusion quirk. So they all fused, like, all the villains, like all the boy villains, and class 1A and 1B students. Or like Todoroki and Bakugo. Kugo and League of Villains into one stronger entity. So they had a kid. I know that I said this, but let's get it out of the way. So Musclier got, how will I put this? Zumi and Musclier. Zombone, I think. I don't know what their fusion name would be. So that's their kid. Mm-hmm. And basically all of that. Like, heck. Yeah. The Dobby even had a kid with her, and she was Trumpet. I'm trying to think of it. And he had the power of ice, fire, every elemental. And basically, and twice had and a kid with her. It was a girl. So they were like, what the heck? So, I'm not gonna go there. So, overhaul battle, it was not even a real battle. It was, of course, overhaul actually just says, here you go, I'll give you Aries. Okay? So, that's why all the boy villains and class 1A and 1B students, like boys. Some of them fused into and plus a League of Villains. Except for Shrekison. Him and her had a kid. That she had the K Quirk and the Jump Quirk. Like a bunny Quirk. So that's why. So this is the happy ending, not the I'm gonna let everybody die kind.